Everyone, today I want to talk about how to optimize your website for conversions. How do we convert as many customers as possible when they hit our site? This came about because we have a lot of conversations with a lot of business owners, and this is one topic that frequently comes up. They'll tell us that they're getting a good amount of traffic to their website, but they're just not converting like they think they should. And we also wrote a blog article on this subject. So if you're interested in reading that, you can go to our website, maxexpousa.com, go to our blog, and you'll see it on our blog. So let's get into it. How do we make sure that our website is optimized to convert customers? Well, the first thing we need to do before we jump into the specifics, you need to do an audit on your website. Now, there are a number of services out there that can do this for you. We provide it as well. So if you're interested in having us do it, we do it for free. You can reach out to us. We have a link on our blog post. But you could also just go to our website and contact us through our chatbot or email, however you want, and just let us know you're interested in receiving a website audit and let us know the URL that we're going to be analyzing. But you want to take a look at things like your site speed. How quickly does your site load on mobile devices, because that's where a lot of your potential customers are going to be coming from nowadays. Whether certain pages have a low word count, and that could be impacting your SEO ranking. How many backlinks you've generated. There are a number of things that you want to take a look at when it comes to your website and whether it's well optimized in an SEO sense or not. So once we have that audit complete, it will give you some ideas of what might be holding you back. Like, for example, if your site loads pretty slow on mobile device, that could be contributing to a higher bounce rate than what it should be. So that could be holding you back as far as how many people are actually even interacting with your site. Maybe you're getting a lot of people going to your site, but you have a pretty high bounce rate, and that could be due to things like site speed. So once you get that audit, you can kind of see where you're at specifically. And the next thing we can get into are some specifics as to when someone does go to our site, how can we make sure that we're moving them along in a very strategic way. And that's the whole idea here, is we want to move people along sort of like a funnel. We want to funnel them to a specific goal. So one of those things that can help you is to have a chatbot on your website. Now, a chatbot, I think, is a little bit better than a live chat widget. So what's the difference? A live chat widget usually indicates to the person on your website that they can connect with the live person, where a chatbot is a little bit more automated. Now, we haven't done any specific research on this, but just from our experience, because we've used both, we usually find the chatbot gets more people to interact with it. And just thinking, I could throw out a couple different ideas as to why. One of them, I think, is that people just don't really want to connect with the live person if they're just looking for information, because usually, I know it happens to me on other sites, usually when I'm connected with a live person, I know I'm not going to just get an easy answer to my question. It's almost like they have to pitch me, do a sales pitch on me, which I'm not really interested in wasting my time. So if I'm just looking for a quick question answered, I don't necessarily want to have to connect with a live person, because I know that they're probably going to start pitching me things, or they're going to kind of give me the runaround and answer my question, but maybe drag it out longer than it needs to. So with the chatbot, and you can see we have one here, chatbot kind of lets people know that they're not speaking with the live person, although they have the option if they want to. So take a look here in this chatbot. The other cool thing about chatbot, and you could probably do this with the live chat widget as well, is after a visitor has spent a certain amount of time on our website, This will automatically pop up and give them uh, some some of our frequently asked questions. So maybe kind of again moving them along a specific process. So instead of just being minimized like this, and someone can go down and click it if they want to, I like that after they spent a few minutes on our website, which means that they're interested in the content of the site. If they're spending a number of minutes on our website, it's a good sign. It means that there's the content is interesting to them. This will automatically pop up and give them some ideas to again move them along a process so they can get more information about our specific services and pricing. If they're interested in tips to help their business, if they want to speak with a live person, or if they have some other question altogether. So they have options. And basically, again, when they click on this, it will give them a decision tree. So after they click on one of these questions, it might ask them a follow-up question, or they can ask something specific. And it just gives them the information that they're looking for a little bit more quickly than if they spoke with a live person. So I like this. I like that it's very unassuming because it's not necessarily a live person that they're speaking with. So I kind of like that. I like the chat bot over like a live chat widget. So, and you can try that out for yourself. Maybe do a split test. Maybe try a chat bot for a couple months and try a live chat and see what gets you more interaction. But I can just say from our experience, the chat bot gets us more interaction than a live chat. So the next thing you want to take a look at is to have a blog on your website. A blog is really important, and in almost every industry nowadays has a blog. But it's really important because it's just another way to keep people engaged with your website. That's really what you want. You want people to be engaged with your website, to spend as much time as possible on your website. The longer they last on your website, the more likely it is that they will end up becoming a customer. So if you can provide them valuable information and you can show that you're an expert in your industry and answer their questions in a timely manner, you have a pretty good shot that they're going to, see you in a very positive manner and want to do business with you. So that's what this is all about. The important thing that you have to take a look at is optimizing your blog. Make sure that you're not just blogging randomly, but blog in a strategic way. Now, what do I mean by that? Too often, especially in the small business community, businesses are just blogging on random topics that they have no chance of ever being ranked for on sites like Google. Now, that might be okay if you are sending out your content to like an existing email list and in ranking and you're not necessarily blogging with the purpose of getting ranked higher in Google. So if that's the case, then that's fine. But if your purpose of blogging is to not only engage your readers, but also to help yourself get ranked on Google, you're going to want to blog a little bit more strategically. And what I mean by that is you have to find keywords and topics that aren't necessarily inundated with a ton of competition where you have no chance of being ranked for. Google only ranks so many sites on the first page, right? So I'll give an example for us. We're never going to rank on the first page of Google for social media marketing. There's way too much competition out there, and there are huge businesses that have massive budgets that they're pumping into SEO to rank for those search topics. So it wouldn't make sense for us to necessarily blog on broad topics like social media marketing and expect us to get ranked on Google for that. However, we can choose longer tail keywords and longer queries that sort of have a lower amount of competition, but at least enough search volume that we're going to be found that makes it worth our while. So, for example, instead of trying to rank for keywords like social media marketing, maybe we could rank for social media marketing tips for small businesses. Maybe we could rank for social media marketing plan for 2021. What's a good? How do I start a social media? How do I start a YouTube channel for my small business? Right. So longer keywords, longer search queries that that are essentially the same people. Because if someone's putting in, how do I start a YouTube channel for my small business? They're obviously a small business and or at least associated with the small business, and they need help with their social media marketing. So if we can come up for those type of keywords, it's a good chance that they're our ideal customers. So the same could be said for any of your industries out there. If you're in the health industry, maybe you're a nutritionist, you're not going to necessarily rank for what's a nutritionist, right? If someone Google what's a nutritionist, but you could rank for the health benefits of a red bell pepper. So things like that are specific, you have a better chance of ranking for. So there are programs out there that can help you do this keyword research. So if you just Google keyword research tool, you'll see a bunch of them come up, and that can definitely help you out. But the idea is you want to find keywords that have enough search volume that make it worth your while, but low enough competition where you have a chance of actually being ranked. So just keep that in mind. The next thing I'll talk about is appointment schedulers and e-commerce. So this is another thing that I don't see enough of when it comes to small businesses. So you have to kind of figure out what do you consider to be a conversion for your business? Every business is different. Maybe you're selling something where e-commerce would make sense for you. Maybe it's just to book an appointment and you're not necessarily selling a specific product. Your business is more service oriented, but at least have a way for people to be able to do whatever it is you need them to do on your website. Don't expect people to call you or to necessarily walk into your store nowadays. You're going to miss out on a whole lot of people if that's your mindset. That you expect people to pick up the phone or email you or walk into your store or drive to your whatever it is. You need to make it super easy for someone to be able to do business with you. It's why Amazon is what it is today, right? Because of the convenience aspect. So you need to make sure if you're a service-oriented business, make sure you have appointment scheduler buttons all over your website. Give them multiple ways, multiple points of entry to be able to book appointments with you. So make sure you have an online calendar that you can sync to a button or a widget on your website. If you're e-commerce, if you're selling something, have an e-commerce, have e-commerce connected to your website to be able to sell some of your things online. So it's very important that we're making it really, really easy for someone to be able to do business with us. Free downloads. This is another great way to capture someone's information. Make sure you have multiple things of value on your website where someone can download by giving their information to you. Think of it as a fair exchange, right? A fair exchange of information. So for example, for us, we might have a PDF with a complete small business marketing strategy guide. And in order for a visitor to get that strategy guide, they have to put in their name and their email address. So now we've captured their email address and their name, and we can send them some more information periodically, or we now have a way to get in touch with them. And when I say fair exchange of information, don't expect someone, if you're giving something like that, where it's a free strategy guide, if you're I'll use the nutritionist as an example again. If you're giving a recipe book, a free recipe ebook that you created, Don't expect people to put in their phone number, their address, and things like that. It's not a fair exchange of information. What you're giving them is valuable, but it's not valuable where they have to give you all of their personal information like that. However, if you're a business and your your service is something where you have to go to someone's home, it might be something, I don't know, something free that you're giving but your service is where you have to go to their home, like a plumber, an electrician, whatever it is. Then obviously you would need that information. Or it could be something where you still give them a free download, like maybe it's the top 10 things to consider before remodeling your home. You might not need their address or things like that. You might just get their email address and their name, and then you can contact them about your services and what you can do for them after that. So just think in terms of what would be a fair exchange of information. Don't do things like a free free estimate. Everyone does a free estimate. That's really not anything of value nowadays, and that's something I see quite frequently as businesses will give you a free estimate. Honestly, there are probably dozens of other companies in your same industry that are in their area that are also doing free estimates. So if your competition in your immediate area is also doing free estimates, I wouldn't consider that something really of value. It doesn't mean that you should get rid of doing a free estimate, but don't think that people are jumping at the chance to get a free estimate. It's just not something that motivates people nowadays, in my opinion. The next thing, use video. Make sure you have video on your website as well. Video in your blog posts, video on the front page of your website, right? Make sure that you have video because number one, there are all sorts of statistics out there that show that it really increases potential conversion rates. And it's just a great way to interact. Instead of getting someone or needing them to read all your information, a video is just so much simpler. So make sure that it's a short video, something that captures their attention and kind of explains what you do very well. So you could have product videos. You could have sort of a company overview video where that would be on your homepage. Promos, again, videos on your blog posts, whatever it is. Make sure you have plenty of videos, and not only will it help you on your website, but when you start your own YouTube channel, that would be very beneficial as well because YouTube does huge wonders for your SEO. So make sure you're doing video. We do have these cool little whiteboard videos. If you're interested, you can go to our blog post and kind of click them to see if that might be a fit for your business. But that would be a great thing to have video on your website. So I'll just kind of wrap it up here. We have this little checklist. So how many of these things have you done or do you have currently on your website? Have you done a website audit to check your SEO score? Do you have a chatbot? Do you have a blog? Do you have an appointment scheduler or e-commerce enabled? Do you offer free downloads? Do you have a video? So if the answer to all of those things is no, then right away you can kind of see what might be lacking in terms of why you might not be converting people at the rate that you should. So again, your website is much more than just an informational piece nowadays. It can be a sales rep. It can be a customer service rep if you set it up in the correct manner. So with that, we'll wrap it up. If you do have any specific questions, feel free to reach out to us. Again, we have plenty of ways to do that. You can go use our chatbot. You can email us, contact us on one of our social media channels. But with that, we'll wrap it up, and we'll see you soon.